So hello, good evening to my viewers. I'm Keanu Dominado once again, and I'm here for my fifth video in my series on how to get started in racing simulation in the Philippines. I am here right now with Matt Frederic See. Matt, can you greet the viewers for us?
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt, and I also have a channel. It hasn't been active lately, but I hope you do check it out every once in a while if you have time.
All right. So just to start this off, I've gathered a few friends to actually interview in this series that I'm working on YouTube and on Facebook. And to start off, I'm gonna be asking them questions on how some of our viewers can actually get an idea on how to get started in sim racing, no matter if it's a controller setup or a wheel or just something really small. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. So to start off, who is Matt Frederic See?
Well, to start off, I'm an incoming fourth year student in Ateneo De Manila. I'm taking up interdisciplinary studies in the communication and creative writing tracks. I also do sim racing on the sides. Well, more of casual racing because in my scenario, I can't really go online because the PS3 servers aren't very supported anymore, and my PC has limited space, so I can't really go online as much. But on the side, I do watch YouTube videos of many racing games, real life car videos, whether it's on the track or reviews. Those are the kinds of things I normally do on a daily basis. And I think I'm proud to say that I've been a car enthusiast since I was a kid. Like from collecting toy cars, from playing in the arcades, Max June, Initial D, AS3. Also, I play NASCAR sometimes, and then a lot of things that I've played. Like I started playing since the old days of the PS2 when my cousins gave it to our brothers and then us brothers, and then we were, oh, it's a PS2, so we just bought a lot of pirated games. So we had a lot of playing. We had a lot of playing years actually. Like
Yeah.
I started playing around grade 2, grade 3, something like that, and majority of those were kind of fan games back then, like a lot of God of War and I guess Need for Speed. What else? Well, we did have Gran Turismo back then, but it didn't really work. So we just played a lot of other games that we really love, and I think a lot of the older generations appreciate those types of games as well.
Nice.
So there.
So that's a pretty extensive background on games on the PS2, huh? So namely, you're exposed to a variety of racing games in the past, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I started from Carbon and Pro Street actually. Those were like the top two games that I played in place of games that wasn't able to play, like Gran Turismo 3 and 4. I only got to play it like once or twice until one for Gran Turismo 3, the rental service kind of got out of commission.
Yeah.
And then Gran Turismo 4, it was a pirated copy, so it didn't work. And after fast forward a little bit to when I got the PS3, well, I started playing Gran Turismo 5. That was the game that I really started developing my skills, my you could say foundation for like driving skills. That's where I started to learn how to brake, learn how to accelerate in each corner where I should take this line, and also it's also where I learned to love cars a lot more, and that grew that helped it grow to a point where I'd look up the cars on Wikipedia. I would look up on YouTube as well, like, oh, these cars are really as legendary as they say, and that's why these are included in such games, such as like for example Forza or other games like Need for Speed, etc. Forza. They're all included for such reasons, and because people love them so much. That's why, and that and I'm one of those people that love those cars, and I'm
Nice.
proud of that.
So also to summarize this bit, I'll just follow up with this question, right? Just so
Sure.
that just we're so that we're in track. So basically, out of all of this, what sim racing game did you start out with, and what setup did you use? I'm assuming it's Gran Turismo 3 and PS2 controller.
Mm, well, technically, Gran Turismo 4 was the first one because I didn't know that
Oh, all
uh,
right.
uh, Gran Turismo was a thing before first. And funny story about that is I kind of went into the game thinking it was Maximum Tune. So the way I took
Oh,
the course was like Maximum Tune, and imagine what happened after that. It was like,
nice,
bam. I
nice, nice.
really, that's when I learned that, oh, this is an entirely different game. So I continued watching videos of that, and that's where I got my skills. And I actually started playing on a controller, like probably a lot of gamers, because at that time I didn't even know that sim wheels were even made for games such as these until like I'd say grade 8 or above probably. I only knew that wheels existed for those types of games when I go to car shows, like for example Mia's, whenever
Mhm.
they display a sim racing setup. I really beg my dad sometimes because I go with him before to like try. I want to try this setup. I want to try this sim racing, and then um, one time in 2014, I went to the Gran Turismo Academy, booth, like the Nissan booth or something like that.
Yeah.
And I tried I it was a Nismo GT3, I believe, the GT3 spec. I tried that car, and at the last corner at the second lap, spun up.
Oh no.
I spun up. That's what kind of cost me my time and kind of a place. But I was kind of, I was really happy that I was able to experience it. And the thing that it was a G27, it was like, wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah, that was basically the top of the line during those times, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to move on, how would you recommend that someone could get started in sim racing? Like if I were to ask you, if you were to encourage someone who has completely no idea how to get started in sim racing, how would you tell him?
I'd say go with the controller first.
All
I
right.
like if you have the money, sure you can go with the wheel, but then again, um, I think a large portion of the viewers um, would like to start with the controller first because it's the best way to get to know the physics of the game, and it's also one one of the things to keep in mind because when when you get used to driving the controller, you can start to transfer a lot of those skills to the wheel once you get it. But of course, not all wheels are gear-driven ones and direct drives. So not all wheels are for everyone, but I'd say that to get started again, controller first, because if you don't have like a basic foundation for starting off, then I don't think it's gonna translate very well once you like try to level up in terms of setup. Like what the Pisada once said, you have to upgrade the driver.
Yes.
When I was Moto One,
Mm-hmm.
in one of his lessons, upgrade the driver because if his mind isn't ready for something that's like overpowered,
Mm-hmm.
then it really won't work. That's and it also applies to sim racing as well. That you have to start with something basic, and not and I'd say to people, dude, you don't need like something very expensive. It's really fun. It's really fun even
True.
just with a controller. Like the wheel is just a bonus for like in my case, I still play Gran Turismo with even the controller, even though mine is not really up to spec anymore because
Mhm.
it aged really it's okay, but the response isn't very good anymore. But I still have fun, and that's really important with playing any racing game really, whether it's First League, whether it's Forza or anything of any platform. But the best thing is you should have fun. You should have
Yes,
fun with any game you're playing.
definitely. Nice. That is an excellent choice. So for the viewers out there, there's nothing wrong even if you have a setup of a controller at home, even if it's just a PS2, a PS3, or a PS4, or even a PC, or even shout out to the keyboard warriors out there who just play racing sims using a keyboard. It's just the way to go, man. I mean, the wheel is actually a bonus. I agree with Matt, and having the game and actually learning the fundamentals out there, especially in the older games, you'll appreciate it even more when you play the new games now. Am I right, Matt? Right?
Yes, actually, like when I try the keyboard, it's like a totally different thing. Like
Yes.
I tried R Factor in the keyboard because at this point the controller wouldn't read in my PC, so I had to use the keyboard. And I kind of get where like people are coming from when they say that, oh, I still drive a keyboard because I can't really afford a good setup. But then it's just not really for me because I'm used to like tactile feedback on the controller, and that's
Yeah.
something that's very important when actually doing racing. Because
Especially when the controller reverts to the center, right? Yeah,
yeah,
that's very important for any racing game because even in the wheel, like you either you bring it back to the middle or it has a force that reverts it back to the middle. So yeah, pretty
like
important.
like the wheel is mainly because you want more precision in your turns.
Yes,
Like
yes,
for the keyboards and controllers, it's like yes, a controller gives you the sense of sense of what do you call that? Like you can turn based on where the analog stick takes you. But
hmm,
then with the keyboard, it's like it's on and off. Like
true.
it's either 100% or zero. That's really why I don't like playing with a keyboard. And once I got the hang of what it's supposed to feel like,
Hmm.
I really don't want to go back to it. It's just not for me. But that's not to say that playing with a keyboard's bad. It's just that there's a there's a time and place for it. Like
Nice. Yes.
you cannot be like I don't recommend keyboards for like super competitive setups. That's just me, but others might not agree. But yeah, that's me.
Nice, nice. So to add to that, actually, Matt, are you leaning more onto actual racing or esports?
Mm, well, I'm actually very I'm leaning towards as of the moment sim because it's kind of the go-to thing because this whole lockdown that has been extended unfortunately,
Yeah,
and
sadly, yeah.
I really want to go back to like something like Autocross or even
Yes.
Toge Battle. I really want to go back there, and uh, that is kind of proof that I also lean towards real racing because
Hmm.
I can't just sit around and at home forever, like going online and always joining lobbies. Well,
Yeah.
as fun as that is, it is really better to actually drive a car and apply skills that you've got from any game in real life, like especially in circuit, like sure, for autocross, it's not the most applicable because I had a friend who beat people in one super sprint event. Like there were like I believe Sir Gab joined one of the one of the legs of super sprint in Mekawayan, and he got beaten by some guy who doesn't have as much experience on sim racing, because autocross is an entirely different thing. But I think the most applicable is in circuit driving and probably rally driving as well, which is something I'd
Definitely.
also like to do at one point. Like kahit kahit not at my age muna kasi wala pa akong pera. Like as a student pa lang, I'm just being given allowance by my parents. So it's kind of out of reach for me for now. But hopefully in the future I can give it a shot.
Definitely.
But for now, I'd say circuit. Circuit is really my go-to. Like like I can alternate in between. So there.
Nice. Nice. It's actually true. Yeah. Also, to add to that, Matt, do you believe that racing simulators are the future of the racing world?
Well, if you look at the racing scene right now, like e-racing scene, it's taking a huge boom.
Definitely.
Especially because of this whole lockdown thing. And I think because a lot of real life drivers, especially the people at F1, are getting into this virtual Grand Prix. It's really saying something about what what the future of e-racing can hold. And I and I think um, I think you can't no, you can't count out these types of uh, streaming things, because for one, you can't necessarily like watch F1 and like well, you can watch F1 like in local TV channels, but then they're kind of let's say it's kind of limited towards TV and YouTube. Like you can't exactly like go out and then watch the thing at your own pace, because it has a set time. Unlike, for example, when you're watching something on Facebook or even on YouTube, you can watch it like after the thing has been done, and I think viewers will really appreciate that that they have the chance to like go back and watch. Oh, where did this thing happen? Where did for example, somebody crash or somebody overtook at like this lap? It's really something that people love towards the developing years. And I guess I could say it is the future. Sim racing deserves this boom, just like how and Mobile Legends are like getting esports recognition in the Philippines.
Yes.
I guess it's something that the government kind of needs to take a look into, because we may be saturated in the bigger scheme of things, but it is not an option you should count out in terms of raising awareness, like what you want, what you also want to do for this community. And I also want to contribute it in ways I can, even though they're kind of small at the moment. And I kind of know, and I'm really hoping that the people that you interviewed in like past, and also people you'll be interviewing and after me, I guess I hope they can contribute to this community a bit as well, because sayang naman if we're all just sitting around doing nothing.
True. True. That's definitely it. And one of the reasons why I'm actually going for this interview is that one of the hashtags is actually productivity. Since when I get usually information from my viewers or from my friends that they're running out of things to watch, or they're running out of things to do, I'm like, man, sim racing, even for you, Matt, you really think that we run out of things to do in sim racing? I don't think so, right? There's
There,
never
Yeah.
There's never nothing. There's always something when it comes to sim racing or even video games in general. So
Yeah.
this is actually an amazing time to discover, to learn, and even this interview I'm doing right now. I don't usually do this, but what better way to get data from our network of friends who are actually in the same industry as we are, right? So
Yeah.
also to add to
So
that, what is your biggest takeaway from your experience in sim racing? Like, if I were to ask you, Matt, how has sim
yes,
racing provided value to you?
I'd say it has really given me a lot of value in
Hmm.
terms of um, what what it has teach me about life as well. Because I'd say sim racing really really needs a lot of discipline. Like in terms of learning, especially
Hmm.
because when you take a look at a certain track, like you pick one, you can't really just go into it and think that you're going to get it on the first try. That's
True.
something you should never think about. That dapat when you go inside the track for the first time, you really need to look at where how fast should I go, or
True.
where should I position my car, or where should I start braking. And I believe that this sort of thinking has kind of helped me um, in life as well. Like in terms of studies, although I won't say I'm the most studious person because my grades aren't very reflective of that, but it has helped me in a way that it um it helped me become more disciplined as well. Like set time to think about how I should learn this, and or how I should get this information and use it in my daily life. And that's something that can be used, especially in the future, wherein you need to learn about something about work. You're also gonna need a lot of reading and a lot of research. That's something that
Definitely.
you must take with you, and also for driving in real life, because a lot of things that I got from sim racing I could apply in my real driving. Like although syempre in driving in traffic or in the city, syempre you need to follow all the laws, diba? And
True. Definitely.
also need a sense of awareness of people around you, especially those na parang not so disciplined drivers. There's unfortunately there's still
Yeah.
a lot of that.
Yep.
I mean, of course, lockdown tayo, but then after this, I'm pretty sure the there are still going to be drivers na hindi pa rin disciplined. Like there's gonna it's either maninibago sila, or like uh yeah, they're still not gonna be considerate of people. There's a chance that that will happen, and I think I think my driving skills also helped me like position myself in a way na I won't cause harm to anybody, or I won't I won't bump this person and cause an accident and stuff. And there it is really it has really helped me grow as a person in real life.
Nice. Nice. That is amazing. To the viewers watching, here's actually to prove that there is massive value to be made, especially in sim racing, because not only you get to practice what is in the online world, actually you can practice from what you've learned offline, then actually confirm it online if it's actually safe to use, right? Am I right, Matt? Usually
Yeah.
when learning some new skills, you don't use it actually in the road agad, diba? Usually you have to practice first, especially in autocross, right? Like doing a pendulum turn, usually you don't get it, you never get it on the first try, right? Never, never.
Yeah. Right.
It's always practice and repetition. So
People criticize on that end. So they'll always tell you that, oh, you need to take this a bit sharper. you to break a bit earlier, or like, oh, you need to accelerate more, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's could be that's a possibility as well. But it's a nice thing that sim racing has really came about, since it gives even the professional drivers an outlet to even maintain track times. Given this pandemic, right? We all need alternatives, basically, right? Because maintaining skill and not doing anything, it doesn't match. You always have to find an outlet wherein you can maintain your skills and maintain track times. Because for the pros, it's not really because they know it. No, it's not. They have a skill to maintain, and sim racing is an outlet for that. So I really believe it. And also for you, Matt, what is your racing discipline of choice?
Well, I've said this a while ago, but I guess it's gotta be circuit, because
Circuit.
it's like a lot of games are majority of the games that have been released are mainly catered to circuit driving, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is um, that is kind of the best way for me to go, because although the price it's not very friendly, especially for my parents, because I have to ask them first, or like I have to save up myself depending on the situation. But
Yeah.
it's kind of the area where I can have the most fun, especially with the stock car like mine, because you can, like, in autocross, it's like I have to face against a lot of the drivers. Circuit is also like that, but it's more, it's more imminent in autocross, wherein there are a lot of big boys playing, and
Definitely.
I'm just a guy. Uh, I'm just a guy who's lining up because I want to have fun.
True.
But
True.
then yeah,
Definitely.
I really don't think anything will replace circuit as of the moment. Like autocross will come in second
Definitely.
when I think about it. Like um, I don't think risking my car getting scratched and like on like a closed street road is really the best thing for me right now, because first of all, the car isn't registered under my name, so
Oh
my dad's
dear.
gonna have to pay, and I'm gonna need to water down a bit on that. But at least on the circuit, it's a more safe environment. At least on my end, because there's a lot more room for you to screw up. Although not like a park, but it's not like a parking lot in like Megaten or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at least in circuit, there's the room's a lot wider, so you can position your car anywhere you want, and then if you screw up, then just try your best not to crash. Really, so there.
Nice. Wow. Especially one thing that I believe also for the viewers to know is that one thing is why we promote sim racing is because one, it promotes road safety as well, and two, you get to practice on a controlled environment, right? Because we are also
So
against street racing and unwanted accidents out there. Something that's not really meant to happen, but it just somehow happens because we're either itching to put the pedal to the metal, or the stress in the way we get it. All right, we get it. But one alternative to that is doing it in a racetrack or going on the sim racing. And I definitely agree with you, Matt, since circuit is also one of the best outlets, since you have technical and high speed in one setting, right? That discipline really it really matters that way. And also, one of the viewers would like to know, Matt, do you have a page? Do you have like a fan page or a channel that our viewers can reach out to you in case they have some questions or some inquiries to ask you?
well, personally, I don't really have like a page wherein I could will I separate from my personal account. So people can just message me. Although disclaimer lang, I don't really reply a lot, like to like skaters, unless they bring up a topic that's kind of important. So it's gonna be a bit it's gonna be a bit difficult to contact me because I'm just trying to be careful of the people who contact me at this point, especially
Yeah.
na parang any crime could happen or stuff na my account could be hacked at any moment. So I'm just being a bit careful. And
Of course, of
also
course.
like I mentioned at the start of the video, I also have a YouTube channel. It's currently on the low end of subscribers, but hopefully the videos that I released so far are enjoyable, although it could probably use a little bit of work. So there, those are my plugs.
All right, nice. For the viewers watching, don't worry, I'll be posting the channel link on the description below. So don't forget to look into it if you actually want to know more about Matt. And here's the famous question among the interview is what are your last words in terms of racing simulation in a nutshell? Like what is Matt Frederic See's one-liner for this for racing simulation? Go for it.
Hmm. Well, I'd say that how do I say this? Racing in a simulator is like kind of a budget friendly way of um, practicing practicing and getting good ground for the real life racing because it's that thing where you could you could do a lot of things that you wouldn't be able to do in a real car. Like it's basically 10 times cheaper to like crash to a wall into a game rather than crash into a wall in real life, of course, because you'd be spending a lot more than you really should. Like you should be saving that money for like more important things, probably your work or probably basic necessities really. Like you would be saving a lot of money by going into a into a console or into your PC and just practicing your visualization skills and also your balance. What I mean by that is your balance in terms of oh where what which fingers do I use to press this button or something or like where do I what do I you know what do I do in this situation? Like, it's all about brain exercise as well because it's not only your eyes that's working, but it's also also your fingers, so your hands, your arms even because you have to stay still for such a long time, and
Yeah.
even your back, even your legs, it's gonna get a workout by just staying still, or even even in motion rig setups, or like the simple
Hmm.
sitting down in like on a block chair even, or
Hmm.
a generic car seat. Like it's gonna get a workout. That's for sure. It's
Definitely.
also a nice way of it's a nice way of not really staying fit, but more of getting the feel of being in a car without being in. That's something that that's kind of the takeaway that I have for this whole sim racing thing.
Yeah, that truly says it all. I mean, to the viewers watching, we just had a first-hand experience from Matt that truly sim racing provides value, and that it's actually cheaper to start out with because especially nowadays, since money and budget is actually an issue now given the pandemic. So even those with old consoles, with old controllers, if they still work, don't hesitate to just bring it out and race again. And shout out to my friend who aims to get back into sim racing after an episode from his childhood days. Man, shout out to you, and I really hope a lot of these interviews can actually help you can help motivate you to get back in the world of sim racing, because the mere fact that you got started it says a lot since you got started. You don't get started just because you want to do it or you find it fun. You do it because you love it, and you do it because you want to grow the sport as well one day and network. You know, because one thing that I'm sure Matt can vouch for this as well, since we have this mini group within ourselves. The feel of camaraderie and network really helps a character build their journey in sim racing. Am I right, Matt?
Yeah, that actually it actually helps. Like you start from smaller groups, and then
Yeah,
you eventually as bigger groups. And also it's something that you can cherish for like a long time. Like, oh, I was part of this small group for like a few years ago, and then now we're like the best of friends. We're kind of like family right now. It can happen.
definitely. Yeah. So with that all, with all those answers, with all those questions have been answered, I hope this video provides the utmost value to you. And I guess our time is done here, and your journey in sim racing is about to begin. So to the viewers who are constantly watching this interview series, I will see you on the next video. And I would like to give my thanks and my shout outs to Matt, who is in this call for us right now. And before we end, Matt, do you have any shout outs? Do you want to greet anyone before we actually end?
Okay. Well, first of all, I like to shout out to Joy Deritos. Like, he's been one of my closest friends. Like in college, really, because even though we don't go to the same school, it's really fun to talk to him. And like, I can see like how much he's grown as a person, and see how much I can be if I can just work hard and like make good friends. And I also like to shout out to Hilde, Mark Policarpio, also to Mick Velasco and BJ Bacongan. Like those people, they're like one of the few circles that I'll never forget for like quite a long time. So there you go.
Nice, nice. I really like to urge everyone who is actually thinking about it or considering about getting into it. I guarantee you it will be worth your time, especially given this pandemic. This is a great alternative from pretty much from the this is basically a new normal for us since it's all work from home, it's all online, and online consumption of content is on an all-time high. So I urge you to actually consider it. And lastly, my name is Keanu Dominado again, and I will see you on the next interview. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. Bye. See you.